Minions and Monsters is the first film. So let's see. I'll have to go check the trailer out down there. Hour and a half. Wow, that is pretty hilarious. Do you think that's like a trend throughout the industry that all the movies should be like everybody cut back the movies a bit? I don't know, just because of so many films. That's pretty good. An hour and a half exactly. That is pretty crazy. Okay, so we're just gonna check it out on YouTube instead. So it's got 17 million views. That's pretty cool. Long trailer. Doesn't show too much. I mean, these movies are a lot of fun and they're really hilarious. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. You don't really need to show that much. And this is the 4th movie, I think. So it's like, even if you're gonna be if they want new fans, you have to watch the past 3 or 4 if this is the 5th, whatever. You know, so it's kind of weird, but I'm saying I just don't know why like they have to show so much. I get it. Maybe there's more. I'm just saying, you know, but basically, like they don't really need to convince you to go see the movie. You know, you're probably gonna go see it anyway. These movies are hilarious and fun. So, okay, so now we will watch the trailer.
Hollywood, the new stars of the silver screen changed the face of the motion picture industry forever. The Minions are back with a touch of mystery.
Baby.
Oh, Humphrey.
Piñata. Carbonara. Lasagna.
Now in Minion Vision.
Toot toot.
James,
You have a real gift for filmmaking.
Eureka. Gloria, hallelujah. Makan movie. Un movie de minions con monstras. Yachi, unigiri. Okay. I'm Gary Orcam Oliver Magma Ichabod the Deceiver. But my friends just call me Goomby for short. I know the perfect monster for your movie. Let's go. Whoopsie. Behold!
What?
The all-powerful Irene! She is gonna destroy everything on the planet!
James, you're going to do great things.
Well, honestly, it does look a little weird. No, I don't know. I don't know if those are dirty jokes or not. It looks pretty funny, pretty awesome. Looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun. The kids are gonna love it, of course. The one thing that I'm not sure about is, well, is basically through all of this part, like, this is definitely the 3rd act, is it not? Like, you know, I don't know. I don't know if, I mean, obviously, I guess kids really wouldn't ever be able to decipher it, but I mean, this is obviously from the 3rd act, right? Oh, they already say it. It's gonna take over, yeah. Right here. It's going to destroy everything on the planet. And then they show, like, probably the 3rd act through here. But I don't know, that's so strange when they do that. I hate that. Oh, and then down here, comments are turned off. So, I guess, I mean, Well, whatever. We'll go to IMDb now. So here is the IMDb for Minions and Monsters. It is PG. So those are probably definitely some dirty jokes, right? I spotted, I think maybe one or two. I don't know. We'll see. And then an hour and a half. That's really surprisingly strange. Despicable Me, computer animation, farce, slapstick, adventure, animation, comedy, crime, family, sci-fi. Follows the Minions in 1920s Hollywood as they search for frightening creatures for their monster movie, partner with a green creature, and must save the planet from unleashing monsters. That is kind of interesting. I heard there's like a black and white segment in it, which I think is going to be so cool. Some people are saying that the kids, it's going to be cool to see their reception of that. And then maybe if they've watched Nicolas Cage's Spider-Man after seeing the Spider-Verse one, then they're probably gonna say, oh, let's give the black and white one a try, and then hopefully they'll like it. I'm sure there's gonna be a percentage of people who go, wow, this is really cool, and then they're gonna discover all these other black and white films. So that's gonna be pretty cool. Lots of Hitchcock films are black and white. Well, kind of, I guess. I don't know. Well, not really, but his first ones. And then there's so many good ones, as well as the entire film noir specific category. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, 6.5 stars. That's good, I guess. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Is there really... There's a ticking time bomb, obviously, which you saw with the big monster thing. And then you think there's going to be a character arc? Do they do that with this kind of a movie? How would they do that? Like, this guy's selfish, and at the end he learns to not be selfish or something. There should be a message for the kids, right? This should be a good opportunity to do that, unless it's like it's not good. So like I could see that being an issue, maybe. Like it's just maybe it's like they tried to make it like that and it didn't work, The directors are Pierre Coffin and Patrick Delage. I don't think I'm familiar with them. They've probably done the whole series though, or the whole franchise. Yeah, and I do forget. Oh yeah, but this is a spin-off now of Despicable Me. So Steve Carell isn't even in it. Yeah, that's right. I'm assuming, unless he makes a cameo. Maybe he goes off for vacation at the beginning, then he comes back, and they just save the world. Would that be funny? And like he shows up, how's everything, guys? They just missed something terrible would have happened, whatever. Groot would have missed what just happened. I think that'd be pretty hilarious. So down here, so Monsters and Minions. I have not seen any of... Oh, these are extra spin-offs. Minions and more too. I have... No, I've seen... I love the first Despicable Me. That movie, it's so different. It's so hilarious. It's such a different feeling though. And I think the family stuff is there, but it's more like... it definitely almost switches places with the main plot. Because, obviously, I guess. Yeah, but it's definitely a totally different feeling than the second and third ones, which I don't think I saw. Let me see. I think I probably saw the second one. Third one. Oh yeah, I think I saw it. Isn't it like Alec Baldwin? It's like his twin brother, right, or something? Well, here it says Trey Parker. Is that the brother? I don't know. Well, I forgot who's the brother. I forgot. I haven't seen it in a while. But anyways. That one is, I think I saw that one. The third, yeah, so I think I've seen it. I might have seen the Minions, or whichever one. The opening scene, I thought was so funny when they drive in on the little car, and then they jump out, and they have like little suits on. I thought that was so funny. So I think I've seen that one. So Minions, is there Minions 2, or is this the second Minions? Yeah, that's what it looks like. Minions, and then this is Minions 2, Minions and Monsters. So if this isn't good, I would blame it on, it's their fault totally, because like they should have learned how to make a good one. They'd be like, hey, we got a great story for this one. We know what to do. We know we can get a 7.5 out of this. Okay, so yeah, and then he's done all of these. So pretty cool, and he has written pretty much all of them mooned, but he didn't direct that one, I don't think. Banana, I guess he didn't direct it, and then these he didn't direct. Pretty cool. And oh, he's more of an actor though. Oh, so he does the Minion. Wait, what? He does the whole thing? Wow. Really? Wait. Pierre Coffin does the entire thing? Okay. Wow, that's really impressive. Wow, I didn't even notice that. Wow. Wow, that is really impressive. I did not know that. So is he doing like the 3 main voices and then they manipulate the rest? I've never looked into behind the scenes or anything. I didn't know any of this stuff. Wow. It's obviously right there. I didn't see that. That is so funny. Patrick DeLage is also like, he's a co-director, I guess. Kind of helps out, I guess. Pretty much. Wow, an anime for Wally. He's done a lot of other stuff. Wow, more for the company in general. Yeah, he's kind of been all over. Directed a few things, had to write something. Oh, he started off with a short. Cool. That is pretty interesting. Written by him, and Brian Lynch is the other writer. So he's done pretty much all this stuff. The Secret Life of Pets, that's a funny one. A Puss in Boots, funny hop. What about, so actor also? Wow, really? That's so random. That's a good Chasing Amy. That's really cool. And director called Blinky Nelson Unpacified and Big Helium Dog. That's cool. Then down here, wow, I'm surprised. George Lucas? What is going on? I did not know Trey Parker is doing the voice of this stuff. What about the other guy, Matt Stone? Is he doing that? Jesse Eisenberg, Christoph Waltz, and Jeff Bridges are in this? Holy crap. That is insane. Bobby Moynihan? Who else? Camden Brooks? Whoa. Interesting mix of people. I mean, this is wild. Aaron Hendry, Bill Lamar, Howard. Maybe they've been in them before. Jesse Eisenberg must be new. This is so random. Allison Janney, I don't think I know who she is. What has Trey Parker been doing? So he has all this stuff going on. Upcoming, the Book of Mormon again? Music and lyrics by. Is he like, are they like redoing it or something like that? And then here's all the stuff, mostly South Park. That's cool. I wonder if they're ever gonna make a, what's that movie he did? America 2 or something? Maybe they can't legally do a second one. No summary yet for this film. I think the budget is low, 85 million? I mean, it's easy gonna make, what do you think, $500 million or a full billion? I'm going with that. I think this movie could totally hit 1 billion eventually, if not, probably 750,000. That's probably gonna be my guess in the end. It's probably gonna make, oh, what does it say here? It doesn't really say anything. I'm gonna guess it's probably gonna make its budget, right? And then probably gonna, yeah, something like that. We'll see. So 49 reviews, 4 out of 10. Throw against the wall and let's see what sticks. For me, this was the worst of all the Minion movies that have come out. I had high expectations for this one. I feel that the writer just threw, you know what, against the wall to see what sticks. There were a few funny parts, emphasis on the word few. The Minions movies in the past, regardless of the title of the movie, have been pretty good and funny. I started zoning out about 20 minutes into this. I'm sure this is probably made for kids, but adults like to enjoy these too. That's very true. My son also wasn't too thrilled with this version of the Minions. I'll say that this was a huge disappointment and letdown. I hope they bounce back with something better if they make another Minions movie. Very interesting. That's, wow. Well, I mean, it could just be that it's like, it's not creative enough maybe, or it's just, yeah, it's made for kids, you know? It's this algorithm, which I really feel like you could sway that and insert scenes in these movies and kind of trick them, and then eventually we can go back to like old style film where we don't have second screen viewing and all of that stuff or whatever. The next one is 10 out of 10. I am bananas about this film. It is a laugh a minute. I am bananas about Minions and Monsters. This film is a laugh a minute, making it feel like the movie is over in a flash. Even though this is the 7th Minions movie. 7? Oh, well, if you count those other ones, I guess. It still feels fresh and funny. Minions and Monsters is a backstory of the Minions, Pierre Coffin, before Despicable Me. Oh, it's a prequel. It follows the Minions through all of their previous leaders and then into Hollywood in the 1920s as they make a monster movie. Of course, things don't go as planned, and they end up having to save the planet after creating monsters from an old spell book. I'm telling you, that seems so hilarious. The plot fluctuates between two storylines involving the Minions protagonists, James, Henry, and Ed, as they create the monsters for their movie versus the rest of the Minion gang who eventually hook up with their new leader, Dort, Jesse Eisenberg, an alien robot, and Debbie, Zoe Deutsch, a woman's activist, to create a small love story with a twist that brings it all together in the end. The comedy in Minions and Monsters is exactly what you'd expect from a Minions movie. The Minions' random, made-up language mixed with real words from different languages is still one of the funniest parts. Something that really stands out is how much the animation keeps getting better with each Minions movie. The characters look smoother, the colors look brighter, and the action scenes are immersive. I especially like the scenes with the biggest monster, Irene, because the special effects make her incredibly lifelike and unforgettable. I also like how the Minions' outfits match the time period, from the 1920s sweaters to the classic overalls. It's a small detail, but it makes the movie feel even more creative. My most favorite part is how the directors, Pierre Coffin and Patrick Delage, and writers Pierre Coffin, Brian Lynch, incorporate small surprise details at the beginning of the movie and throughout the credits. Be sure to stay until the very end to avoid missing out on these comical surprises. Okay, that's very important. This film's message is about loyalty. The Minions may be goofy and accident-prone, but they never give up on each other. No matter how impossible things seem, they stick together, proving that real friendship means standing by the people you care about, even when everything goes completely bananas. That's really cool. I'm telling you, there's got to be a story in there. And then Minions and Monsters gets 5 out of 5 stars from me, and I recommend it for ages 5 to 18, plus adults. The film releases to theaters on July 1st, 2026. Kids first. See, that's what I'm saying. So, I liked Hoppers. Goat is really great. It's pretty cool. And all of these movies are pretty good too. That this has to be a message in it, like if it's just mindless slop, whatever, it's pointless. But if you have a nice sweet message in it, then I think that should be fine. I mean, coupled with the $85 million budget or any low budget, it's gonna do fine. And that's how it should be for all the films. 10 out of 10, welcome to old Hollywood Minions. Minions and Monsters 2026 is the 7th movie in the Despicable Me franchise and the 17th movie produced by Illumination Studios, which follows the Minions as they aim to make a monster movie of their own in Hollywood, in old Hollywood. As someone who is a big fan of the Despicable Me franchise, I wasn't too excited for this movie until I heard about the good reviews for it, and that brought my excitement up. I just got done watching the movie, and I'm happy to say this movie was absolutely phenomenal. Positives: first off, it was just awesome seeing the Minions go to old Hollywood to make a movie of their own. This is a premise that I never thought I wanted to see in this franchise until I saw the movie, and there are a lot of jokes about Hollywood that worked me, especially since I'm obsessed with movies and the art of filmmaking. It goes without saying that Pierre Coffin is still phenomenal as voices of the Minions and continues to be one of the main highlights of the franchise. The supporting cast also does great with their voice acting, from Trey Parker as Goomy, Allison Janney as Olivia, Christoph Waltz as Max, and Jesse Eisenberg as Gort. The movie has an excellent pace to it that moves at lightning speed, probably like the new Super Mario Galaxy film, while still making time for the story and character development within the short runtime. Okay, well that's really good. The action and comedy is still firing on all cylinders, and this movie has some of the best moments in the entire franchise. And finally, the third act of this movie is probably the best in the entire franchise since the first Despicable Me film. So it finishes up saying, overall, Minions and Monsters is yet another phenomenal entry in the Despicable Me franchise, and it is my favorite Minions movie as well as one of my favorite movies from Illumination Studios. and I can't wait to see what's next in this franchise. They're gonna do Despicable Me 4 or 5, and then this would be 8 or something. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, maybe they're gonna make another sequel to this stuff. Okay, so I'll just skip through a few until we find maybe a low one. 6 out of 10, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood Land. 1 out of 10, hugely disappointed. Okay, we'll read this one. The movie was a total washout. It is aimed solely at kids. Where was the minion jokes, plots, and humor? That's strange. I can't believe after so many films they have sold us out for a kids film. I am lost for words. The plot isn't even remotely good or in line with its predecessors. I hope others slate it and we get a new Despicable Me worthy of the brand. So, wow. Well, I mean, like, for me, I always just keep in mind, like, hey, this is a kid's movie, you know? Like, it's not for you, you know? But if you go watch it, you can still judge it, you know? Like, it's obviously not for you, so you need to judge it on the rest of it, you know? Was it filmed okay? Like, was the story good? Did you get a message? It looks like you just said, this is for kids, rather than like, okay, this is for kids. Let's see if there's a message in it. Oh, there is a thing about loyalty, but that's good. You know, like, I would want my kid to watch this movie, and that's a good thing, I would say. Next one is 1 out of 10, feels like AI slop. Wow, okay, we'll read this one. At this point, I'm convinced that Illumination Entertainment is just using AI or some form of machine to stop out boring and unfunny cute gaslight-based animated movies with the sole purpose to make money, because everything they make is just both cliche, absurdly boring, unoriginal, uses the same animation designs, and making soulless stories with no appeal. There's nothing else to add. It's the same thing over and over again. It's boring, it's dumb, and just treats children as if they are uneducated. But people would defend them because it's their cute property. That's a shame. Yeah, that is entirely possible. But they obviously, I mean, maybe they generated the whole movie and they just had the people come in and paid them with 85 million, you know? And that didn't go to any animators or anything. It went to a couple of prompt people on an AI program, and the rest of the budget maybe went 5 million, right? 2.5 for 2 people, make the AI movie, an hour and a half exact, right? And then the other 80 million is divided up against the whole cast, right? Something like that, right? I don't know, whatever. I don't know, that's possible. So it looks pretty funny though. It looks like a movie, right? 1 out of 10, no story, no groove, family, and utterly boring. I went without watching the trailer, considering the legacy the series has, but utterly disappointed. That sucks because I literally just said that. Good animation, bad choice of character. I was waiting for it to turn around at some point, but it just finished. Absolutely and utterly disappointed. Please don't waste your money on this. Not worth it at all. I literally just said, like, you know, they probably don't need to show you a trailer and you're gonna go see it. And then now it's like, yeah. I kind of half agree. I'm just saying that statement because me personally, I watch a trailer to see, I mean, for this, I watch it for, you know, those reasons. But in general, I watch a trailer to see, like, is this gonna be satisfying? Because a lot of movies suck. You know, and you see the trailer and you get tricked, right? And like, you as a movie person, and you know, if you're watching your money and stuff, you kind of, you know, get a little annoyed at that stuff, you know? You want some honesty, you're gonna lose trust. I don't know. You're gonna wait and you're like, oh, I'm gonna wait till the reviews come out, you know? Like, you used to be able to go see a big movie and be part of the first reviews or whatever, you know, but now it's so expensive and all this stuff and the movies suck or whatever that it's a waste of time. So now people are forced to be like, I gotta save my money. Let's see what the reviews say. Then they come out and they're bad and they're like, oh, thank God I didn't see that movie. I'll wait till it comes on my streaming service that I'm paying for already, and I don't have to pay extra money. And then when a movie like Dune comes out, or Doomsday, or Spider-Man, you go see that movie because that has a way higher chance of being entertaining and worth your time. So anyways, 5 out of 10 for kids, but True Minions fans will want more. 6 out of 10 fun movie to watch. 9 out of 10 watch in 4DX if possible. Wow, the seat really stopped moving and I was sprayed, poked in the back, and tossed around constantly. That might have been the other people seeing the movie and they're mad, you know, they're kicking the chair. Like, this movie sucks. No. But that's cool. Lots of smoke and wind. Wow. Clever satire of, you know what? Yeah, that could be true during the third act with the big monster. You know, that would actually be, yeah. That's fun. Maybe they should have, you know, marketed that a little bit more. This is a different experience. This is a completely different experience. 7 out of 10, a clever satire of the Hollywood industry. 8 out of 10, missing something but very good second outing. Okay, so we'll go to the Rotten Tomatoes now. Okay, here are the Rotten Tomatoes for Minions and Monsters. It is 90% certified fresh. Wow. That's interesting. So then, do the critics actually like this? Even though people are saying it looks like slop or whatever. So then it must be good then, right? I guess. I mean, it's for the kids. I don't know. Well, a lot of parents want their kids to be happy. So, I mean, yeah. Critics' consensus: the Minions bring their penchant for mayhem to Hollywood history in this affectionate and charming send-up of movie-making magic, turning out the franchise's most roundably enjoyable entry yet. Oh, wow. Turning out the franchise's most roundly enjoyable entry yet. Well, I mean, that is interesting. That is so funny that they would say something like that. So here are the critics, what they're saying. Alison Wilmore from New York Magazine Vulture gave it a tomato, saying Minions and Monsters has going for it is a willingness to tweak that sense of melancholy, to treat our eternal enshrining of what used to be as just another part of the process, another emotion to tap into before yelling cut and starting all over again. And then M.V. Moorhead from Phoenix Magazine gave it a tomato, saying Minions and Monsters is particularly paced and at times riotous, and its theme of friendship as a bomb in the face of feeling like a misfit in the community is restorative. Yeah, that's good. I like hearing that that there's really this, like, I guess there's a message in it. I mean, that's good for the kids. So Leigh Patch from Daily Telegraph in Australia gave it 3.5 out of 5 tomatoes, saying this is more than enough plot for an abundance of Minions mayhem to be unleashed, and the sheer silliness of it all simply never wears off. Jeremy Johns, that's so cool. Wow. He gave it a tomato, saying I had a fun enough time with Minions and Monsters, and kids will too. That's awesome. Pretty straightforward. Christian M. Lynn from Fort Worth Weekly gave it a tomato, saying if you are the parent of a budding cinephile, this film is a prime opportunity to show them a gateway to those sepia-toned comedians whose century-old gags are still good for a laugh. Yeah, I just now remembered, obviously, Buster Keaton, and then Charlie Chaplin, of course, Three Stooges, Marx Brothers, all of those, which I've seen probably all of them, I would say. Probably a few I haven't seen. Yeah, that's gonna be great. My parents showed me old videos growing up, so I had a real variety of movies from all over the place, you know, growing up, and so I always had in my mind more of, like, I guess, like an expanded vision of what a movie could be, rather than, you know, I don't know, yeah, just watching one type of a movie or something, or parents just not showing their kids more things. I think that's really the thing, you know, more giving them more options, I guess. And then Soren Anderson from Seattle Times gave it 3 out of 4 tomatoes, saying frequently very funny and often insightful as it zooms through what amounts to a crash course in the early days of Hollywood movie making. This Minions is a compact delight at just 90 minutes. That is hilarious. That is 90 minutes exactly. So this is interesting right here, that they are saying that there's also movie making in it. So, you know, that is pretty good though. Besides the friendship, you know, the loyalty, like the message part, there's also going to be a thing in it about actual filmmaking that might spawn, like the thought in a lot of these kids' heads and go, oh, I want to make a movie. And then they have their iPhone and then they're going to start making stuff. And hopefully this, contributes to that and they make a new wave, create a new wave of filmmakers, hopefully. Then Eric Goldman gave it 8 out of 10 tomatoes, saying, who would have thought it but the 7th movie in the Despicable Me franchise? Maybe the best one yet, as Minions and Monsters uses those little banana-loving dudes to make an ode to early Hollywood. Tom Santilli, I guess, or T, gave it a B- tomato, saying for what it is, it's one of the more enjoyable entries in the franchise. Brandy Jones from Brandy Reviews gave it 4 out of 5 tomatoes, saying this one is for the fools who dream, even if the dreamers are some of the greatest fools in modern cinema. Right, well, that's interesting. I think we're good on all of these. We can switch over to a couple of the all audience, I guess, is the one. Kurt B gave it 4.5 stars, saying from film, wild ride, watching it in 40X. Brady B gave it 3 stars, saying it's funny and crazy. What else would you want? If you want a completely written family movie with themes and a plot, watch Toy Story 5. Oh, cool. But if you want to laugh, it will be a blast. These characters work perfectly in any comedic situation, and I'm kind of confused because they said if you want a completely written family with themes and a plot, doesn't that contradict what the critics are saying? That means this guy. No, it looks like it's obvious. Which I think the Despicable Me plot or theme is family, right? Pretty sure that's like the thing. So if you didn't notice it, then it's either not obvious or the critics are lying. I don't know. But we'll see. So maybe that's interesting that there's actually a disagreement on if there's a plot or not. That's weird. Well, these are kind of high though. 5 stars from Richard S, saying very good movie overall, very funny. James gave it 5 stars, saying I'm an old man and I still enjoyed this movie. Nicholas P gave it a star, saying started out okay, then became a disjointed mess of ideas and storylines, weakest movie in the Minions series. JB gave it 2 stars, saying bored and thought about leaving. Kid wanted to stay to see if it got better. It didn't. Some brief cute moments, but very few laughs. It doesn't sound good. I don't know. It's kind of mixed. I don't know. We'll see though. Okay, so in the end, Minions and Monsters. My final thoughts. It looks good. I think it's pretty fun. Yeah, it looks cool. Like I said, I hope it spawns filmmakers. These kids, they'll get the idea in their head and start filming things. So that's pretty good. Hope that's true. I think the cast is pretty wild. It's got somebody, George Lucas. Oh, man, he plays George Lucas in it. How was that? Animated or a George Lucas minion or something? Are there real people? Was there real people in the movie? I don't remember. Oh yeah, there is. So he's. Oh, I bet you George Lucas is gonna be a director. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be funny. They shouldn't have showed it. You know what? They shouldn't have showed this. They should have kept him a secret, no? Because he's playing himself. Is that not a cameo? I mean, Trey Parker doesn't play Trey Parker, right? So, yeah, they should have kept that one a secret. Here is this rated PG for violence, action, language, and rude and macabre humor. So the mummy stuff. But that's not. I mean, that's whatever. I don't know. It's fantasy, right, or whatever that is. Like, it should be kind of different. And then trivia: George Lucas's first cameo in a film since Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Oh yeah, he was somebody in the back, I think, which is pretty funny. He plays someone like Dave Filoni in the new movie Mandalorian Grogu. He plays a cameo, I think, something like that. Goofs, 1 Minion is shown performing in a noir drama. Although some directors such as Joseph von Sterenberg pioneered the proto-noir aesthetic in the 1920s, film noir as a genre wouldn't be popular until the 1940s. That's true. Okay. What? Wait. Oh. So, hold on. There is a difference, I think, between black and white and film noir, right? I'm pretty sure that's a completely One's for a reason, and one is a film style, right? Or an aesthetic, right? One was because they didn't have color. How could they get that wrong if that's true? There has to be... Movie is black and white stuff too, and then film noir? Okay, then it's both, right? Then they're doing both, and they're covering the whole thing, maybe? That's... that's pretty hilarious. And then down here is the box office so far. So it's made 14 and 26. Well, there you go. Is that good or bad? Let's see. I mean, 85. I'm gonna guess. Watch it flop. I hope it doesn't. I don't know what I'm gonna guess. I am gonna say I want to be hopeful. I think it will. I have a feeling, but I think it's gonna pop with its budget, 85 to 90. And if it doesn't do that, it'll probably definitely be in the top 5, if not the top 10. I want to say specifically number 2. I don't think it has enough to displace Toy Story 5. Do you think it's gonna do that? I don't think it has enough to do that. I think it's gonna go. Here's the thing. Right between Supergirl and Toy Story 5. I think it's definitely gonna push Supergirl down. Supergirl will drop below. I'm gonna say I'll go below Obsession. And then Jackass Best and Last. It's probably gonna stay there. And then in the next few weeks, Supergirl would be under Disclosure Day is what I'm thinking. So Toy Story 5 is at Toy Story 5 is at domestically 326 million. Overseas 291. Overall 617. So I mean, this movie is probably gonna hold number 1 for at least we'll see. Wait, how long has it been there for? It has been there for 10 days. Man, it's definitely gonna hold. Yeah, it's gonna hold to this weekend because I'm sure what I said earlier, people are probably trying to use their money, to pick the best movie they put their money towards. And I think now they're gonna be, oh, hey, Toy Story 5 is worth it? Okay, let's go. They're gonna see that over Supergirl, which everyone's like, don't waste your money or wait or whatever. People have probably already seen Obsession. Not everybody's gonna see Jackass. Everyone's probably disappointed, or probably everybody saw Disclosure Day and is disappointed or underwhelmed. So that's why that one's dropping down. I think Scary Movie is good enough. I mean, it got its money back. And then Master of the Universe, I think everybody saw it who's gonna see it. So that's pretty funny. Star Wars wasn't amazing, but it was okay. It's still holding on though, which means it's not trash, but it's just not amazing. But it did its job, I guess, kind of, sort of, right? And yeah, I mean, it is obviously entertaining. But yeah, I think that this movie, Minions and Monsters, will be right in between 1 and 2. And then, yeah, being second place. I really don't know how much money it could make. I mean, I really do hope it does well. I think that people are gonna read the reviews and there's no story to it. We want something that's kind of meaningful. And people, Toy Story, I don't know, what's a bigger franchise, this one or Toy Story? I would say Toy Story, right? So I think, just in the end that Minions and Monsters is, we'll see, it's probably gonna make 40, right? Or bomb, flop. Hopefully not. I think that it will pop with 85 to 90 million and be in the top 5, if not the top 10, specifically number 2.